Hello everyone and moin! Let's have a look at conveyors in scrap mechanics, shall we? As usual, I want to show you an approach that is a little different than the usual solutions. Of course, it requires a minimum use of moving parts and bearings because I have a scrappy PC and can't play the game any other way. So, conveyors, what do? They convey things. Are they useful in survival? No, probably not. Are they fun to build and to play with? Of course they are. So let's have a look at different kinds of conveyors so you can start designing your own. So if you want to build a conveyor and have a look at the Steam Workshop, what you will most likely find is something like this. Just lots and lots of pipes and a big battery, all on bearings, and they are rotating, and this will push whatever is on top forward. Let's see how it performs first, and then we'll have a little talk. Okay, this is the controller. It's not very far, maximum level, maximum speed, not so impressive. And this is an engine, and it's going a little bit faster. Not really doing much for the box, but just a little side note, it's pretty fun to get launched by it if you are a person. So they both support a maximum of 10 bearings. Of course, you don't need to add the bearings on the other side, but it's very useful for support if you want to move heavy objects. Um, and yeah, as you can see, it's not really the most cheap way to do it. That's why I had a look into other ways to convey stuff. First of all, I would like to show you a working example of a conveyor powered by hinges. I already told you in another video why I love them so much. Um, Biggest advantage being they are scalable, but of course you can use pistons instead. This is really a machine that would work very fine, and I think in this case even more smooth with pistons, but yes, this is just a proof of concept. Um, you can see each of the conveyors is only using two powered bearings, one for this glass plate that is feeding the pushing mechanism, and one for the hinge because it's guided by a rail. So this is the first mechanism I would like to show you. But this is not really a conveyor belt because you see there's only one package inside. If we were to put more packages inside, there would be an overflow and it wouldn't work anymore because there can only ever be one package on these plates, and there can never be a package behind the pusher plate. So yes, it's easy to make mistakes here. So not the ideal conveyor if you don't have an exact input. Yes. Here we have another example of hinges used in a conveyor system, but this time you may even call them robot arms because they are not simply used to push the box over a plain surface, but they are picking up the boxes and carrying them to the other side. So I actually invented this conveyor system because I was hoping the lag wouldn't be that bad, but for some reason the opposite is the case. My CPU is melting right now, but I have a crappy PC. I think we have a lot of options here. The advantage is you are not bound to a plain surface. You can even use this thing to elevate the boxes to a higher level, and the robot arms can be configured however you like. But the big disadvantage here is that each of the conveyor systems is using 4 powered bearings and a powered piston to push it over to the other side. And the setup also isn't that straightforward. I can show you right here. There's a lot of setting up for the system to do, but all in all, it's very versatile, and I think you can get up with a lot of ideas yourself how to implement this in the factory to build yourself. The last conveyor I want to show you today is actually my favorite. If you look at it, it looks a little bit like one of those industrial sieves they use to sort ores and stuff. Let's start with a demonstration. So you have those two combs, I guess, and they mesh into each other. Both of them are only rotating back and forth. But the thing is, let's climb up the stairs and stand on top. Of course, you can only ever be on one of those combs. That's the one that is above. So you get pushed to one side. So this is actually a conveyor you can scale as big as you want. It can lift pretty heavy objects. And this is a real conveyor belt. You can have multiple objects getting pushed into one direction on the same belt without really disturbing each other. So not like the ones I've shown you before, where there can only ever be one box at one of those robot arms. So yeah, let's see what we can do with this if we scale it up. All right. Let's get back to the big facility I showed you in the beginning. This is the big one. You want to use this conveyor belt for very heavy objects. This can really lift anything. I will demonstrate you in a second. Okay, so the last conveyor I showed you, the little system example, was using two combs that meshed into each other. This time we have only one comb and the other one is static. So you have only half the speed, but it really doesn't matter because you can get away with powering just two bearings. It should, in theory, work with just one, but then sometimes you have system acting a little bit weird because scrap mechanic. So two bearings is really on the safe side here, but then it works very, very reliable. So let's start with some boxes here. We have a few lying around. Just get them on the conveyor. One more, we can even add them here, okay, or not. And you see it's not the fastest conveyor, but don't forget your conveyor can be scaled indefinitely. You don't need additional bearings, you don't need additional controllers. The only thing you need are some blocks to build the combs out of, and I use pipes because they are a little bit smaller than the blocks, so you can get away without a lot of collision that will slow down your game, and my machine really doesn't like it. So okay, I can really impress you with boxes, I guess, so let's get some heavy blocks here. So this is solid metal tier 3, and you can see it's lagging a bit, but not a problem. It doesn't even get slowed down. Now here we have concrete 3, should work as well. Not a problem. It's just doing business as usual. It didn't even realize I was putting heavier objects on it. So I think if you want to do something like a mining facility, maybe you want to play with rocks that only get crushed in your factory. Yeah, of course, in survival you wouldn't do it like this, but yeah, we don't even need factories in survival. So yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this. So, but if this is too slow for you, I have another system I would like to show you right now. The last conveyor I would like to show you today is using two combs that rotate instead of just one rotating comb and a static comb. So it's a little bit more complicated. Um, you need four powered bearings instead of just two. And yes, I will just switch it on, turn it on, and you can see now how it behaves. This is actually the maximum speed we can go. If I crank this up just one speed faster, the block won't really move forward but bounce because, yes, okay, exactly that, because then the pipes hit it a little bit too hard. So, and because the friction of the pipes is pretty low, maybe you can get away using another block with these combs if you have larger objects, so you can leave gaps in between, so you wouldn't have to use pipes with higher friction. I guess you can make this a little bit faster. So let's put this big pipe in. There we go. Come on. Yes. Okay. Now I'm trapped. Oh, okay. A little bit of manual labor in my factory seems to be required. Just give it more love by hitting it with the hammer. Oh no, this sounds wrong. Don't show people your love by hitting them with a hammer. Please don't. Okay. Let's fix this. Okay, insert the pipe. Perfect. So you can see this is going faster than the static conveyor because you have two phases moving forward. So yes, I think I would prefer the other one because it's way simpler than this one. It takes more time, it takes up more space, it takes more resources. I'm completely satisfied with the speed of this one. I think the most interesting use would be to automatically transport the veggie crates to the farmer. Um, and in a combination with your auto farm, I guess you can build pretty interesting automated facilities. All right, this was Augie42. That's it for today. I hope you like the factory I prepared for you, and I also hope I was able to spark some inspiration in those brains of yours. Um, See you next time around. If you like the video and want to see more of these crazy factory facilities, please like and subscribe, and of course comment. I got a lot of lovely comments lately. I just started this channel, I guess, a month ago, so I'm very curious where this is going. This was Augie42. See you next time around. Bye.